Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at the Noblesville real estate market for November 2024.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Using data from RPR,
Uh-huh.
which is Realtor Property Resource, for
Mhm.
those who haven't heard that term before.
Definitely.
And we have some great insights from local real estate advisor Jeff Landers from
Yes.
Engel& Volkers.
Great guy.
Um, and you might find this interesting. Money Magazine
Oh, yeah.
just recently named Noblesville one of the top places to live in America.
Wow.
So let's dive in and
Yeah,
see what we can learn.
see what's happening there. I think one of the fascinating things is that, we see a lot of national trends, but Noblesville really has its own story to tell.
Right.
And when we look at Jeff's market overview for November, it really paints a picture of kind of a dynamic market. So the average sales price sits at $627,512.
Okay.
But the median sales price is $419,445. So
That's a big difference.
yeah, it's quite a gap, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think is causing that?
Well, I think that gap really suggests that there are a few high-priced listings that are pulling that average upward.
Okay.
Kind of like if you imagine a seesaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
A few heavy hitters on one side can really tip the balance. So, think like luxury homes, large estates, those kinds of properties.
Makes sense.
Makes you wonder what's driving those higher prices in Noblesville specifically. Now, there are currently 330 listings in Noblesville,
Wow.
with 119 actively on the market right now. And we see everything from a 3-bedroom priced at $399,000
Okay.
all the way up to a sprawling 7-bedroom luxury home listed at $3,499,000.
Oh my goodness.
So talk about variety.
So it seems like there's something for everyone in Noblesville.
Yeah, definitely a diverse market.
Yeah. And Jeff has some really lovely neighborhoods featured on his site, like Hinkle Creek Estates,
Oh, beautiful.
Lock Haven Sagamore.
Yeah.
I can just picture myself strolling through those streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's go beyond the surface.
Yes.
And dig into the RPR data.
Let's get into the details here.
It gives us that month-to-month view of the market's pulse.
Absolutely. RPR data really is a gold mine for understanding, the real-time trends.
Okay.
So let's take a look at September and October 2024, specifically to get a feel for some of the recent shifts. One of the key metrics we like to look at is the month's supply of inventory.
Okay.
Think of it like this. If no new homes were listed, how many months would it take to sell all of the existing inventory?
Right.
So in September, Noblesville had a 1.6-month supply.
Okay, so pretty low. What does that tell us about the market?
Well, that low number tells us that it was a strong seller's market in September. So imagine being a seller in that environment. You likely have multiple offers coming in, potentially even above asking price.
Wow.
Now, in October, that month's supply of inventory figure decreased by 7%.
Okay, so does that mean things are starting to shift in favor of buyers?
Well, it's a subtle change,
Okay.
but it could potentially be significant.
Okay.
So while it's still technically a seller's market, that decrease suggests a slight cooling. Maybe not a full-blown shift in power,
Right.
but a sign that things might be starting to balance out a bit. Now, if we look at the median estimated property value, we see an increase from $384,650 in September to $386,988 in October.
So even with that, slight cooling prices are still ticking upwards.
Yeah, they are for the moment.
It makes you wonder if this upward trend will continue or if we'll see a plateau soon. What do you think?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Real estate's like a puzzle with so many pieces.
Yeah.
So while we see this increase, remember, interest rates, buyer demand,
Right.
even seasonality can impact those future price movements.
Of course.
So we'll have to keep a close eye on these factors in the coming months. Now, when we look at sold listings, we see that the median sale price in September was $361,000 with 107 properties changing hands.
Okay.
Comparing this to the previous few months using this handy graph from RPR helps us understand the flow of the market.
Yeah. And speaking of flow, there's one stat that really caught my eye. Median days on market.
Okay.
In September, it jumped to 15 days, which seems like a significant change from previous months. What's the story there?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Well, we are talking about November now.
Right.
And things tend to slow down a bit as we head into the holiday season. People are busy with family gatherings and festivities.
Right.
And let's face it, trudging through snow to view houses isn't exactly on everyone's wish list.
Yeah, so that seasonal slowdown could be part of the equation.
Yeah.
But could this also be a sign that the market is starting to cool off a bit, as we saw with that decrease in months' supply of inventory?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. That jump in median days on market could indicate that buyers are becoming a bit more selective, taking their time to make decisions.
Okay.
It could also mean that sellers need to be a bit more strategic with their pricing and their marketing efforts.
So what does this all mean for someone who's thinking of listing their home in Noblesville right now? Should they be concerned?
I wouldn't say concerned, but definitely aware. You
Okay.
know, it's more important than ever to price your home realistically from the start.
Right?
Overpricing in a cooling market can really backfire.
Yeah.
If your house sits on the market for too long, buyers might start to wonder if something's wrong with it. It's like, that pair of shoes that's been on the clearance rack for months.
Right.
You start to question, why no one else has snatched them up.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So finding that sweet spot between appealing to buyers and maximizing your return is crucial.
Exactly. And that's where working with an experienced real estate agent can make all the difference.
Hmm.
Someone who's deeply familiar with the Noblesville market,
Yeah.
like Jeff Landers,
Right.
can provide invaluable guidance on setting the right price and crafting that really compelling marketing strategy.
Now let's flip the script for a moment and talk about buyers.
Mm.
What does this shift in the market mean for those hoping to snag their dream home in Noblesville?
Well, for buyers, a bit of a slowdown could be a good thing.
Okay.
With a bit more inventory available and homes staying on the market a bit longer, buyers might find themselves with a bit more breathing room. They don't necessarily have to jump on the first property they see
Right.
or engage in a bidding war.
So it's less of a fear of missing out situation
Right.
and more about taking your time and making informed decisions.
Precisely. Now's the time to really do your research, explore different neighborhoods, and really think about, what's important to you in a home. And remember, having a skilled buyer's agent on your side can be incredibly helpful.
Right.
They can help you navigate the market, identify properties that align with your needs and your budget, and negotiate effectively on your behalf. Speaking of which, Jeff Landers is an accredited buyer's representative,
Oh, wow.
meaning he's a specialist in representing buyers' interests.
That's good to know. It seems like having a trusted advisor in your corner is key, whether you're buying or selling. Now, let's circle back to the RPR data for a moment. We've talked about median estimated property value, sold listings, median days on market. But there's another piece of the puzzle I'm curious about. New listings.
Ah, yes. New listings are the lifeblood of any real estate market.
Right.
They give us a sense of, the supply side of the equation. What did the RPR data tell us about new listings in Noblesville?
Well, in September, there were 117 new listings with a median list price of $430,000. Now, that's just a snapshot of 1 month. But I'm wondering if we can glean any insights from that number.
We can certainly use it as a starting point. By comparing this to previous months or even years, we can start to identify trends. Is the pace of new listings increasing or decreasing?
Right.
Is it keeping up with buyer demand? These are all questions that can help us understand the overall health of the market.
So it's all about connecting the dots and seeing how the different pieces of the puzzle fit together.
Exactly. And remember, data is just a starting point.
Uh-huh.
The real insights come from understanding what that data means and how to apply it to your specific situation.
That's a great point. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's distill some key takeaways for our listeners. What are the most important things to keep in mind about the Noblesville market right now?
Well, first, remember that it's still technically a seller's market,
Okay.
but we are seeing some indications of a potential shift toward a more balanced market.
Right.
Homes are staying on the market a bit longer, and buyers might have a bit more leverage than they did earlier in the year. We see that reflected in, the month's supply of inventory and median days on market data.
Second, pricing is crucial. Whether you're buying or selling, understanding the current market value of properties is essential for making informed decisions.
Right.
Don't just rely on gut feeling or outdated information.
Right.
Do your research, consult with experts, and make sure you're comfortable with the numbers.
And third, working with an experienced real estate professional can make all the difference. Having someone who knows the local market inside and out, understands your unique needs,
Right.
and can guide you through the complexities of buying or selling a home
Yeah.
can save you time, money, and a lot of stress.
And as we've mentioned, Jeff Landers is a fantastic resource in the Noblesville area. His experience, knowledge, and commitment to his clients are truly impressive. Not to mention, he's been awarded the Ruby Elite Award by Engel and Volkers in both 2022 and 2023, which is no small feat.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, he was also nominated for Indianapolis Monthly's Real Estate All-Star in 2024. Clearly a well-respected and trusted figure in the Noblesville real estate scene.
Yeah, seems like he's got all the bases covered.
Yeah.
So with all this in mind, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive into the Noblesville real estate market?
I'd say it's this: knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make decisions that align with your goals. So whether you're buying, selling, or simply curious about the market, take the time to learn, to explore, to ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to experts like Jeff Landers, who can provide personalized guidance and insights. Remember, he's an accredited buyer's representative with the National Association of Realtors, so he's got the credentials to back it up.
It sounds like he's the real deal. Speaking of those top places to live rankings,
Uh-huh.
I'm curious, does this data support Noblesville's high ranking from Money Magazine?
That's a great question. It's important to remember that those rankings consider a variety of factors, things like cost of living, amenities, job market, quality of life.
Right.
While the real estate market is a significant piece of the puzzle, it's not the whole picture.
Right. It's all about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What we're seeing in the data definitely suggests a desirable market. Homes selling quickly, values increasing. Seems like people are eager to put down roots in Noblesville.
Absolutely. And remember those neighborhoods Jeff features on his site?
Yeah.
Hinkle Creek, Estates Lockheed, Sagamore.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
These are all highly sought-after areas. They offer a mix of housing styles, strong community vibes, and often excellent schools, which are big draws for families.
It's fascinating how all these factors interweave to create a community's identity. So for someone who's maybe just starting to think about buying in Noblesville, what advice would you give them?
I would say start by exploring.
Okay.
Dive into those RPR reports, browse listings online, and maybe even take a weekend trip to Noblesville to get a feel for the different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Think about your lifestyle, your priorities, and really what are you looking for in a community.
That's great advice. It's all about finding that perfect fit. And remember, resources like Jeff Landers are available to help guide you through the process. He can provide that local expertise and personalized advice that you might not find online.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. Buying a home is a big decision, and having a trusted advisor in your corner can make all the difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Noblesville real estate market,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
I'd say it's this: the Noblesville real estate market is vibrant and dynamic, full of opportunities for both buyers and sellers. By understanding the data, the trends, and really the nuances of the market, you can position yourself for success. Whether you're looking to buy your dream home, sell your current property, or simply stay informed about this thriving community.
Well said. And remember, knowledge is power. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. We'll see you next time for another fascinating deep dive.